Welcome to the channel, Masters of Consciousness. In today's episode, I will introduce you to the spiritual practices of Master Jesus of Nazareth, a teacher of love, presence, and inner awakening. His teachings were not confined to religion or any particular belief system. They were alive, profound, and filled with direct experience of God as love, as source, as inner reality. In this episode, I won't be speaking about dogmas or what happened 2,000 years ago, but about how today, right now, you can apply his teachings in your own life. Because the truth is, it's not history that transforms us, but the awareness of what we can draw from it. If you open your heart, the spiritual teachings of Jesus can become a practice that transforms your daily life, your relationships, and your inner world. I invite you to join this journey. Jesus taught in the simplest yet most profound way. He said, "The kingdom of God does not come with observation, for the kingdom is within you." That one sentence can become a lifelong practice, because if the holiest, purest, and most complete reality is already within us, then our whole life can be a path back to that inner source. Let's begin with prayer. Jesus often withdrew to solitary places. He would rise early in the morning and enter into silence. He said that prayer shouldn't be a display of words, but an inner conversation with the Father in secret. You can practice this very simply. Every morning before you reach for your phone, before you say anything to anyone, just sit for a moment. Close your eyes, be still, breathe slowly, and enter your inner chamber, the space where it's just you and God. You don't need to say anything profound. Sometimes a whisper is enough. "I'm here. Lead me." That is the prayer of the heart. No pressure, no formulas, just presence and intention. Jesus often taught through metaphors and parables because he knew that true wisdom doesn't reside in the mind, but in the heart. When he spoke of the mustard seed growing in silence, or the shepherd who leaves 99 sheep to find the one, he was speaking about us, about our soul, which sometimes gets lost, but is always being sought. One of the spiritual practices we can draw from this is trust. Trust that even when you feel lost, even when you can't see the light, God does not abandon you. He is always seeking you. Your task? Let yourself be found. You can practice this through contemplation. Just sit and imagine that love is looking for you. Don't judge yourself. Don't analyze. Just be. It is an incredibly deep practice, the practice of being found. Forgiveness was one of the pillars of Jesus' teaching, and at the same time, one of the most difficult lessons. He said, "If you do not forgive from your heart, you will not find freedom." Not because God will punish you, but because unforgiveness keeps your soul in chains. Every day, you can begin to free your heart. Start with a simple exercise. Close your eyes. Bring to mind someone who has hurt you. Visualize them in front of you. Breathe deeply and say silently, "I forgive you," not because what you did was okay, but because I want to be free. You may feel resistance. You may cry. That's good. That means something is moving. Forgiveness is a journey. It's not always quick, but it is always possible. One of Jesus' quietest and yet most powerful practices was presence. Do not worry about tomorrow. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Jesus invited us to live in the here and now. It is in this moment that you can encounter God, not tomorrow, not when you've improved. Now, you can practice presence in the most ordinary actions. When you drink water, do it consciously. When you speak with someone, look into their eyes. Really listen. When you walk, feel your feet. When you breathe, notice it. Presence is the simplest way to return to the kingdom within. It's a spiritual discipline. It is also an act of love. Gratitude was a natural state for Jesus. Before multiplying bread, he gave thanks. Before healing, he gave thanks. These were not just words. They were an awareness of abundance, always available. You can practice gratitude daily. Each night, write down 3 things you are grateful for. Even if the day was hard, be thankful not only for what was good, but also for the lessons. Give thanks, because in doing so you create space for more goodness to flow. Gratitude is the open door of the soul. Begin with yourself. Stand in front of a mirror and say to yourself, I am worthy of love. I am enough. That may be hard. And that's exactly why it's a practice. Love doesn't have to be a grand gesture. Sometimes it's kindness to a cashier, patience with a child, silence in response to anger. Love is a decision, a choice you make 1,000 times a day not to close your heart. The body was also a temple for Jesus. He touched people, blessed them with his hands, healed through presence. The body is not an obstacle to spirituality, it is a gateway. You can practice being consciously in your body. Every morning, before rising, place your hands on your heart and ask yourself, how can I care for myself today with love? Maybe with a walk, maybe with a nourishing meal, maybe with rest. It's not about perfection, it's about awareness. Your body longs to be loved, not fixed. Embrace it as a vessel of God. Jesus also knew pain. He knew fear, loneliness, betrayal. In the Garden of Gethsemane, he wept and was afraid. He didn't pretend everything was okay. And that's the beauty of it. Spirituality doesn't mean always being calm. It means not running from yourself. When you're sad, stay with it. When you're afraid, hold that fear. Say, God, this hurts, but I'm here. Jesus showed that God does not pull away in suffering. He comes closer. Practice honesty. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be real. And one more practice service. Jesus washed the feet of his disciples. He didn't seek recognition. He gave. He said, whoever wants to be the greatest must become the servant of all. You can practice service in simple ways. Do something kind, expecting nothing in return. Cook a meal for someone. Call someone who is lonely. Offer a hand. Service doesn't make you smaller, it opens your heart to true greatness. In giving, you receive. In helping others, you remember who you truly are. The practice of silence, of stillness, was something Jesus cherished. Silence is not emptiness. It is the space where Spirit speaks. Every day, take a few minutes in silence. No music, no thoughts, just breathe. Silence is the language of God. And finally, remember that nothing, absolutely nothing, can separate you from the love of God. Not your mistakes, not your fears, not your past. You are loved. You always have been. You always will be. The spiritual path of Jesus is an invitation to discover this love in yourself, in another person, in every moment. Thank you for being here in today's episode. If what you heard touched your heart, please subscribe, share this video with someone who might need it, and come back to us again. Masters of Consciousness is a space where spirit awakens, where we learn to live more deeply, to see more clearly, to love more truly. May this journey continue. May your heart stay open. May every day become a prayer and a gift. Remember, you don't have to be perfect to be loved. You just have to be. See you in the next episode. With love, Masters of Consciousness.